and they put them on some.
It's the college football world's favorite big cousin, Tater to what? Too real. And today, guys, I want to talk to you about why I believe the Ole Miss Rebels will have no problem beating LSU. Yeah, I said it, the Ole Miss Rebels will have no problem beating LSU. Stay tuned. Man, what an amazing week 5 of college football we have to look forward to, but I'm going to start with LSU versus Ole Miss. This game and also Alabama versus Georgia are going to be my best 2 games on Saturday, but first I want to talk about the LSU Tigers. Currently, LSU is sitting at 4-0 with wins versus Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Florida, and Southeastern Louisiana. Now, there's a lot of good things to like about this LSU football team. First, they have a seasoned quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier, who have over 900 yards passing and 6 touchdowns, also 2 interceptions. But this LSU defense is the star of the show in my opinion. I mean, they have talent on every level on defense. Defensive line, they got Whit Weeks, Jack Pybram, Jacoby Gilroy. They got Harold Perkins at linebacker. They got Mansour Delane at cornerback, so forth and so on, right? So defensively, LSU really does not have any weakness. Like I just mentioned, they have NFL caliber talent on every level, D-line, linebacker, and defensive back. My biggest concern about LSU is simply the offense. This offense was getting so much hype. Garrett Nussmeier was supposed to be the preseason Heisman favorite, blah, 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 blah. But when you look at the games they already played, they beat Louisiana Tech 23-7. And I'm not trying to crap on Louisiana Tech, but LSU should have won that game by at least 30-40 points. Let's just be honest. Also, against Clemson, they only beat Clemson 17-10. And I say only because Syracuse put up more points versus Clemson than LSU did versus Clemson. Also, Clemson is a 1-3 football team. Some more proof, when they played against the Florida Gators, DJ Lagway threw 5 interceptions and LSU only won the game by 10 points. And they were home. And Florida is 1-3. So I'm not even going to count Southeastern Louisiana. They won that game 56-10. That don't even count, right? But the games that really matter, it showed me that LSU's offense is just not up to speed. So for me to sit here and think they're all of a sudden going to go to Ole Miss and just blow up the scoreboard is just not really plausible. So for that reason, I'm leaning towards Ole Miss. Now, let's look at Ole Miss schedule. Ole Miss is currently sitting at 4-0, ranked number 13th in the nation. LSU is ranked number 4 in the nation. But the reason why I am picking Ole Miss to win this football game is very, very simple. When you look at the teams that Ole Miss has beat, you can pretty much put up a legit argument that they were tougher than the teams LSU has beat. Like I mentioned earlier, LSU beat a 1-3 Clemson, a 1-3 Florida, Southeastern Louisiana, and they only beat Louisiana Tech 23-7. But when you look at Ole Miss, they beat a very, very good and tough Tulane football team. And don't get it twisted, this is not your dad's Tulane football team. This Tulane team is for real. So when I saw Ole Miss beat them 45-10, that really, really opened up my eyes. Also, they went out there and beat Arkansas. Arkansas is an explosive offense. If they had any semblance of a defense, Arkansas would be undefeated right now. I'm not going to count Georgia State, but again, they beat Kentucky. Kentucky is a pretty damn good football team. But the real star of the show for Ole Miss is quarterback Trinidad chambless, who was a Division II transfer from Ferris State. And if you're Lane Kiffin right now, man, there's no way in hell you go back to Austin Simmons. I don't care if he get in the transfer portal. I don't care if he pout or do whatever he got to do. But bruh, I'm not putting you back in as a starting quarterback. Trinidad chambless has a legit chance to play himself into Heisman talks. His last game versus Tulane, he had over 300 yards passing and over 100 yards rushing. He is a true dual threat quarterback. And they have great talent at receiver, led by Harrison Wallace. Also, they got Kawan Lacey at running back. Also, they got Jaden Yates, at linebacker. Also, big Xavier Evans on the defensive line with his 2 sacks. I think that Ole Miss's defense is definitely not as good as LSU's defense, but they're more of a opportunistic defense, right? They're going to get stops when they need to get stops. They might force a turnover when they need to force a turnover. And in my honest opinion, that is going to be enough to beat LSU. I feel like Ole Miss's defense is definitely above average, and it's good enough to get a few stops to kind of control LSU's stagnant offense right now. So give me Ole Miss 27-17 over LSU. You guys let me know what you think. This is your favorite big cousin Tater to what? Too real. Holla.